Hello viewers, thank you very much for watching this video and thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Charlie and I'm a senior consultant here at Sahwira Financial Services, and please don't forget, click that subscriber button so that you don't miss any of our video. Now, this is the third episode for our series getting into business. In other words, how can you start and grow a business? I'm not going to go over the first and second episode. So if you have not watched the first and second episode, please, you need to watch the first and second episode so that you can make better use of this episode, because it's a continuation. So quickly, in the first episode, I coached you, or I spoke about the need to identify threats in the business environment and potential opportunities in the business environment. And also in the second episode, I highlighted how, as you make a decision to get into business, you also need to get to know more about yourselves. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you good at? Okay? And then what do you have passion for? In other words, I said a number of entrepreneurs prefer to get into business by doing what they enjoy most rather than what they are good at. So all these issues, you now have them. The potential opportunities in the business environment, the potential threats, your strength, your weaknesses, what you are good at, as well as also what you like to do, Now, what will be the next stage for you to do? The next stage is for you to do what is called a market attractiveness test, or a market attractiveness assessment. Market attractiveness assessment. In other words, you need to answer this big question. Before you get into business, or before you exploit that business idea you've come up with, is it attractive? Attractive from the point of view that, are there buyers out there that are willing to dip their hands in the pocket and take out some dollars or some pounds or whatever to pay for your new product or to pay for your service? So how do you do it, or what do you do, or what benchmarks do you going to use, which will indicate that for sure there is a market there? By market, we are referring to buyers, okay? The word market can mean a physical place. I'm going to a market to buy some tomatoes. In other words, it's a physical place. But you can also say the market is not responding. So a physical place cannot respond. When you say the market is not responding favorably to my products, you are referring to the buyers. And also a market is just that exchange between the seller and the buyer. And so a market can actually exist in your mind, how buyers perceive you. So if you were to role play as a buyer, of which all of us, we are buyers at one point in time, and also we can be sellers. But normally, most of us, we are buyers. What do? If you see one advert from company A and another advert from company B and another advert from company C, what happens? In your mind, there is this discussion, this debate as you begin to process product from different sellers. So they are engaging with you in your mind, and you begin to say, I like product A from company B, product C from company D. So your mind actually becomes the battleground. It becomes the market. So a market also exists in the mind of the buyers as they engage in discourse with different products and services by different sellers. And you yourself are actually making a decision to say, at 20 pounds is too much, or at $20 metkaisha, that's too much, or at 20 euro, no. So again, it's in the mind of the buyer. So here are the factors that I want to go through very quickly. I'm not going to exhaust all of them, but I'm just going to touch on a few of them that will help you to know whether your intended market is attractive. And by attractive, we are talking about the profitability, okay, and the quantity of the buyers there. Are they profitable? Are there buyers? How many are there? So all those things, you're going to look into them. So let's go through them. Number one, we talk of market size. So market size, if you are writing market size, you need to establish the population of potential buyers. Potential buyers, the population of potential buyers. So how do you do that? To start with, you need to actually know the population of that economy for which your business will be operating. If you are in Zimbabwe, you need to know the population of Zimbabwe to start with. Let us say you want to get into business, the business of operating, let's say, a fast food, where you'll be selling fast foods. You know, fast foods, chicken, chips, hamburgers, you name it, coffee, tea, ice cream. Let us say this is your business. So you need to know the population first. What is the population of the local economy? And then once you know the population of the local economy, why am I starting there? Because buyers, the population of buyers always come out from the population of the economy. Imagine if the population of an economy is only 100 people. I just want you to see it. Let us say that economy only has 100 people. What it means is, this is your maximum capacity. You can never sell your product to more than 100 people in that economy, because that economy is only made up of 100 people. But can you see the potential, and can you see the optimism if you know that, for example, in Zimbabwe, we have over 14 million, or we are around 14.5 million. Can you see that even though we don't know whether these people are going to like our products or services, but at least there are 14 million people whom we can bombard. We can bombard, or we can go and say, here is my product, here is my service. Assuming you are doing what you call mass marketing, you are not segmenting. You are simply saying, here is my product. For example, here is this water jar, and I have the potential to sell it to 14 million people. This is different from selling it to 100 people. So you need to start with the population of the economy. From the population of the economy, what then do you have to do? You then zero down and say, I am in the business of fast foods. Or if you are in the business of making these water cans, then I'm in the business of manufacturing or of buying and selling these water cans. So what you need to do is to find out, to undertake a research. What is the population of people in this particular economy? And using the example of Zimbabwe, what is the population of people in Zimbabwe who have a desire of using this water jar? How many people have the desire of always having their cool drink or whatever in this jar? It can be a cooler. Or how many people, or maybe you're in the business of selling, you know, when you make a breakfast in the morning at home, you have tea, coffee, and you want it to remain warm. Many people want to bring their coffee at their offices. So how many? So you are beginning to do what we call a research. If it means you're going to stand in the streets, I know you can say, hey, this is odious. And can I finish the whole economy? Obviously, it's a mammoth task. But you don't have to do primary data collection. By primary, I'm saying you don't have to actually do it yourself to actually do that exhaustive research. There is what we call secondary data. In any given economy, there are big organizations that are always doing research, and they publish these results. Secondly, there are always government departments that, by nature of their service, they publish these results. Imagine all companies out there that are selling different products and services. At the end of the day, they submit returns, tax returns, okay, in their respective economies. When they submit tax returns, that alone is data. So if you go, like in the case of Zimbabwe, if you go to Zimula, you are going to find that there is data there which can actually tell you how many service providers out there are in the business of fast foods, how many are in the business of manufacturing tires, how many are in the business of this. And if you go to consultancy firms, I don't want to mention names here, but for example, there's a consultancy firm called ABC Limited. You find that they are periodically releasing results for their research, and some of them you have to pay for it. They will tell you that in the fast food market, it is growing, and it is estimated that 3 million people actually go for fast foods. They prefer fast foods instead of eating at home. And out of the 3 million, 1 million people actually prefer quarter chicken and chips. And maybe only 100 prefer hamburger. And you can also be told that actually there is 7 million who are interested in sadza nemazondo, or sadza and cabbage, or sadza nederere. So we find all these things, all this information is there. All you need to do is to go on the internet and you begin to Google population for fast foods, or how many people desire fast foods, or statistics for fast foods consumption in Zimbabwe, statistics for fast food consumption in the United Kingdom, statistics for fast food consumption in Australia, in Asia, in USA, in China. Once you do this, you get data coming. So this secondary data you peruse through, and you can get this population. So are you with me? Market size. How do you get to know the size of your potential market? If you get this data, then it will tell you the figures. And where am I driving at? You will end up with two figures: the entire population of that economy and the population of the consumers who are already consuming this kind of product that you intend to buy, that you intend to sell. Okay? So at least you now have a figure to work with. And the bigger it is, the better. Why are we saying the better? Because naturally, you are not the only one who will be providing this service. So there is competition. So if this size is big, then it means there is room for new players like yourself to come in. I want to make use of that example that I gave earlier on, that I said, imagine an economy, a country only has 100 people. Now, if a country only has 100 people, and then let's say you are told that of the 100 people, only 20 people are interested in fast foods. What it means is you have the potential to sell to 100 people, that is the whole country, convincing these other 80 which are not into fast foods. But otherwise, you have less effort in convincing these 20, because it is only 20 who are into fast food products. These are people, consumers who enjoy fast food. So you don't have to really struggle to convince them. But here is the catch. Here is the catch. You are not the only one who is into fast foods. There will be another company number 1, company number 2, company number 3, and maybe, let us say for argument's sake, let us say there are 19 companies out there who are into fast foods, and yet there is only 20 buyers who enjoy fast food. So you are the 20th. Assuming that you are going to divide amongst yourself the customers equally, then it means each one of you will have one customer. Since there are 20 consumers and 20 suppliers, including yourself, therefore each one of you will have one buyer. So can you see, will you say that is sustainable? Will you say to be profitable? Can you really have a business based on only one customer? So you can see how market size becomes an indicator for market attractiveness. But if we begin to increase this size from 20, let's say to 1,000, to 2,000, to 1 million, can you see that you can smile to say, at least I will have an opportunity there? Because mind you, in the real world, you don't share buyers equally, like what I've said to say 1, 1, 1, 1. In the real world, there is competition. You can actually lose all the entire 20 to company A, or you can only get 2 and the 18 are taken. So the bigger the market size, the more attractive it becomes to you. So I'm just about to close. So market size is a key indicator for market attractiveness, in the sense that the bigger the potential population that are likely to consume, you have not yet converted them, these are potential, that are likely to consume your product or service, if it is bigger, then it means that market is attractive because it is big. Why is it attractive? It allows as many players as possible. And if many players are able to come, what it also implies is that competition tends to be less stiff, because it becomes stiff if there are fewer buyers. It's just like the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest. If there is no water, if there's no vegetation to go and graze, then you can find animals begin to fight. So the more there are buyers out there, the less stiff the competition, and hence the market becomes attractive. So let me come to a conclusion. The other indicators for market attractiveness are market growth, price trends, the intensity of the competition, and then the overall industry risk, and then the opportunities for product and service differentiation. I'm just coming to a close. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you are going to use the market size as a key indicator for market attractiveness. And don't forget to click the subscriber button so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you very much for watching these Sahwira Financial Business Tips. Good luck in your business.